All right. What's up, y'all? Show some most Desmo. You Christian. Black boy. Why Logan is the best Marvel movie. Logan is the best Marvel movie. Let's see. Why? He got a
Logan
point.
to me is the best
Hold
Marvel
on.
movie
Hold on, bro. Hold on. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We is on the road to 500. And let's see what's going on with this, bro.
to date, with Thor Love and Thunder being an obvious close second. To be able to get this great of a crafted character study, you gotta go past a whole lot of Kevin Hart quality films in Marvel and go back to like the Sam Raimi trilogy to find this. So today, I'm gonna talk about why Logan is the best Marvel movie of all time. Logan is a movie that focuses almost entirely on the emotional and broken lives of the characters within it. If you guys have been following, I love a good depressing movie, don't I? If it don't got me contemplating watching kick streams because I'm so depressed and want to torture myself, if it
All
don't
right.
got me on the brink of tears posting Bart Simpson edits to XXXTentacion and Juice WRLD music, if it don't make me sad to the level of washed up Disney actors making podcasts to beg for a reboot, I don't want it. This isn't Logan saving the world like we're used to seeing these movies do. In X-Men 3, Logan gotta kill Jean Grey or else she'll destroy the world. Captain America gotta stop Red Skull or he'll destroy the world. The Avengers gotta stop Thanos or he'll destroy the universe. Captain Marvel gotta stop her villain or else the movie gotta continue, and we don't want that.
Oh, God, bro.
We kind of get the formula that superhero movies follow at this point,
Yeah.
and this movie is way smaller than the typical of its genre. It is literally Logan trying to get this one little girl, no R. Kelly, from point A to point B while they're being hunted. The plot and the villains, while they do have their own tension and create high stakes, the heart and soul of this movie lies within the dynamics between Logan, Professor X, and Laura, aka X-23. And before we get into how these dynamics hold weight and really carry the movie, I think it'll be good to establish the individual state of being that different characters have through the movie, then how they intertwine in the end. So naturally, we're gonna start with the main man, Logan. Logan in this movie is Celtic Shaq, way past his prime. Imagine going from super
I wouldn't say this Logan with something Shaq. I'll say low key, he like KD and the Rockets right now. Like KD on the Rockets.
superhero saving the world to a limo driver driving around the cartel and shit. Got 3 Mexicans, Walter White and Jesse in the back of your car, and then he has to kill them after they whip out shotguns on him, and he had to show them D-tier bad guys had him gasping for air like Rod Wave taking 2 steps. He was extra pissed because they damaged his car that Abraham Lincoln gave him as a gift. He needs this car for his limo job. Nobody wanna ride around in a limo that got Swiss cheese holes in it. The first person gonna get in and be like, damn nigga, who you drove before this, King Von or something? That limo is important. It gives him the beastly $6 per day he needs to take care of himself and Professor X, cause they're both dying. For Logan, the adamantium skull that once damn near made him invincible is now literally poisoning him, and he's actively dying, living out his days as a limo driver and taking care of Professor X, who's lost his mind, like any nigga who bet on Jake Paul to beat Anthony Joshua. For Professor X, he's dying from a disease called oldness. All the X-Men are dead. Jean, Storm, Cyclops, Beast, all the important ones, and Iceman, literally all dead. In this world, mutants are considered extinct. For the best Wolverine movie to be one that doesn't really feature mutants at all is a feat on its own. That really just speaks to how well made this movie is. It completely breaks the superhero trope of a strong man who saves the day from the evil villains, which are what most of the Wolverine movies are up until this point. Here, Logan is a complete shell of himself. There's nothing particularly cool or inspiring about him anymore. He's a has-been like Fetty Wap. He can barely even walk straight, walking with a limp, but he ain't a pimp.
That's cool motherfucking bars, nigga!
His claws won't even come out. Nigga having performance issues. He's trying to get bullets out of himself in order to heal, and he's constipated, nearly shitting himself to push them out. He's broken, not just physically, but also mentally. The superhero mindset he once had is gone. A woman approaches him at a funeral when he's working a limo job for his help, and he wants absolutely nothing to do with her.
Get the fuck away from me!
He's exhausted.
I ain't lying to you, son. When you be an old man, you really don't be want to do a lot of things. But live life to life be time your time for you to go. I ain't lying to you.
Physically and mentally. He's terrified of bringing any more potential violence in his life, even if it means not helping someone who may be in real need. The old Logan would have been celebrating like he just won Game 7 at the thought of going on a mission to kill somebody. At this point, he has a real and traumatic fear of commitment and responsibility. He doesn't believe he has what it takes to be a protector that this woman needs, and later on we learn about his fear of being a father figure too. I guess that's all y'all niggas' excuse for going to get the milk too, huh? So he doesn't even consider assisting her at first. But we see how eventually, despite that feeling, he overcomes it like how a true hero would. It's like they say, courage isn't not being afraid. Courage is acting even when you are afraid. And I think seeing Logan in a state where he's not so confident in himself at all anymore, where at the first sight of potential danger, nigga tried to buy a boat so he could dip. The Logan we knew ran towards the fight. Now he's moonwalking away from it by any means, even if it requires turning into Christopher Columbus and sailing. He doesn't feel that sense of responsibility. He's simply waiting to die. And yet still, he ends up embarking on this mission and ultimately giving his life for the cause to save mutant children. This quite literally is the most heroic and most Wolverine thing ever, even more so than slicing up evildoers like Bob and curing world hunger with his belly meat. It's great writing. This is Wolverine when on first glance, this is...
Yeah, pretty much really is. I'm not gonna hold you. This is a good movie though. I'm gonna just tell you this, bro, but how the way they did this movie though, I liked it, but I don't like how they just made him so weak with it, bro. That it pissed me off,
the least Wolverine he's ever looked. And this approach to a Wolverine movie is genius. It's not some super revolutionary concept, the idea of taking away a really strong character's powers from him, like I spoke about in my Ranking Every MCU Movie Part 1. In Thor 1, they take away his powers, but they did it in an ass and lazy way. And that movie is just visual NyQuil, straight melatonin gummies for your eyes. Here, it's done really well and has a purpose outside of we need strong character weaker so there could be stakes. Logan's powers aren't just being lost, they're actively killing him, which symbolically holds a lot. The powers that made him the hero he once was and made him take so much life, body count higher than LeBron's age, is now collecting its toll on him. And also the concept of a Wolverine movie where he's dying hits different. Because up until now, the only trauma regarding Logan that he's had and we have experienced as viewers is that of others close to him. So to see the danger and ticking time bomb of death looming.
Yeah. I mean, once you lose a lot of people, I mean, they get emotional though. I'm not gonna hold you. You be in that mother like crying. It's just, it hurt to say it, but I'm just gonna tell you it's true, bro. It's life, bro. But I can't say that. I couldn't say that just to be saying that, as no calm person. Now, when you lose somebody very close friend, it really does hurt you though. I'm not gonna hold you though. But let's continue the video. I'm not trying to get emotional with y'all.
You know it's coming, and it's on himself. The guy we've always known who can handle anything really pulls at the heartstrings in a completely different way. But they don't present it in a way that only if you watch the 18 other X-Men movies you can know. Anyone can enjoy it and feel it. They provide just enough context that the X-Men were a group like One Direction that he was a part of and are gone now if you've never heard of them under that rock you sleep with Patrick Star. And just enough context about the world's relationship with mutants. Humans wanted to do...
I mean, the Wolverine movie they had, I think, it was 5 Wolverine movie? It was like 5, 6? No, I think... I think Wolverine had to have about, 6 movies at its finest.
Mutants like this for parking tickets back in the day.
That nigga is guilty! Ain't that nigga now!
It's just enough context that anyone can watch this as a standalone movie and it'll hit the same. The tension that the movie starts with is immaculate. First encounter Logan has with the main villain is a great piece of dialogue that helps build the world, informing us of what the future has become and giving examples of how things have changed. Sets up the conflict that the crazy lady in the rain is looking for Wolverine and she took X-23 from this bad guy, so he's looking for her. And Wolverine is looking for some booze to drink his horrible life away. No money, no girl, no kids, no friends, a bad haircut. This nigga life terrible. Logan.
If you're a college student, here's how you're actually going to make time for everything. Superhuman Go, powered by Grammarly, is your AI study partner that helps you understand content.
Logan is hiding Professor X, and this bad guy knows where that is. All of that in one convo, and not for a second did it feel like just exposition slop to us. It's all in a great cohesive conversation that really feels nervy and intense.
Did he ever fight Sabretooth after this? Or Sabretooth died too?
Setting up the plot and conflict of the movie, while still leaving enough holes for us to be curious on how they get filled, keeping you really engaged. Unless you got a TikTok brain, then maybe throw some Subway Surfers at the bottom and then it'll really keep you engaged. And it's from here we get to actually see after hearing about Professor.
Need to put them little Minecraft thing where he be jumping on the little blocks and stuff, or the little Subway Surfer. Oh, you know, or the little Mario Kart. Don't forget that little Mario Kart E too.
The state he's in. A once cool, calculated, intelligent, powerful, passionate, kind man is now reduced to somebody's Alzheimer's granny, all grumpy, shitting himself in a chair all day, yelling about hearing voices, cursing out clouds. Half the time, he doesn't even know where he is. He isn't aware that he killed the X-Men. He got old and lost control of his powers and his mind. And he's only alive right now because Logan tends to his every need, wiping his ass and giving him bedtime stories, which is nice. I know some of y'all.
Oh wow, nah, I'm not ready for that. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm definitely not ready for that. When they get to that point of stage and your parents ain't be able to move how they used to move, not really ready for that. I'm not gonna hold you, to be honest with you.
Oh, evil motherfuckers gonna put your mom in a nursing home and throw up D's at her while you leaving. Even in his current state, Logan still has so much love and respect for him that he's gonna take care of him till he's dead. The man who once took care of all the mutants now needs to be taking care of himself. They're all each other have at this point. And seeing that bond from how it's changed, but the love is still there, as well as with Laura, who we'll get into soon, is, like I said, the heart of the movie. It's depressing and emotional as hell. To see the heroes that once seemed untouchable look like homeless crackheads washed up, Logan barely capable of walking, and Charles barely able to make a sentence like Mike Tyson. Charles always said mutants were a part of God's plan, no Drake. And Logan says, maybe we're God's mistake.
Maybe we...
Don't put that as a bar. Don't put that as no.
God's mistake.
Just further showing how broken he is at this point. There's been no new mutants born in 25 years. He's given up on the vision he once believed alongside Charles pre-losing his mind. I also tell you guys, I love when a movie can show you and doesn't need to tell you. A lot of Marvel writing is just them telling you, but here they don't. Take this scene right here for example. Logan is sitting at his bedside, downing some Ciroc. Diddy somewhere happy as hell watching this, with a hand wrap on. Wolverine needing bandages. Shaking, incapable of relaxing himself without any substances, longingly looking at his dog tag. This scene gives off so much information about his state of being without him having to tell the audience what his state of being is through exposition. If this was the MCU, Iron Man would have been like, I am feeling bad and lonely because everything has been taken away from me. I need booze to try to get to sleep. I am depressed. A great writing team can convey that to you without telling you it, just like I showed in the Planet of the Apes video, for example. And just to really hammer in the point, we get a scene with this character, I forgot his name. He looked like Voldemort, the low on vitamins looking ass nigga. He was telling Logan how he found his adamantium bullet he keeps around. Logan carries around an adamantium bullet because he constantly considers the idea of just ending it all at one point. This is him at his absolute lowest we're seeing. But things start to change for him when Gabriella gets a hold of him again. She has this little girl Laura, explains she's on the run and needs to cross the border with Logan's help, offering him $50K to do it. Logan's still very reluctant, doesn't want to, but he does need the money, so he could buy a boat for himself and Charles to go out on the ocean and die on. So he agrees. But first he stops to tell Charles he's gonna be gone for a few days, and by the time he gets back to the hotel to take her and Laura, she's already been found and killed. The ops had a UAV and found her location ASAP, now placing Laura into Logan's possession, with bad people coming after the both of them. And we get to see how Charles, even in the state of losing his mind, is so excited that Laura is a mutant and wants to take her under his wing, while Logan doesn't believe him that she's even a mutant. And when the agents are coming to get them, he straight up says, "Fuck this shit, I'm out," and is ready to dip with Professor X, leaving Laura behind, saying she's not our problem. Logan said, "Fuck them kids." The mission was purely transactional for him. It wasn't until Laura starts turning the agents into literally salami meat with her claws does he realize, oh shit, she really is a mutant. She's like us. Then is when he actually cares enough to even let her in the car. And that is the catalyst, alongside convincing from Charles, that makes him decide to take on the mission, even in Gabriella's death. You see how quickly in the beginning Charles cares for Laura and she cares back. They tend to take care of each other, even in the littlest scenes, like them driving off from the agents and Laura protecting Professor X from bullets. Their bond is one that grows fast and strong, but not in an unnatural way, but more so in a way that joint trauma creates heavy bonds. And it's here we start to get more context around Laura through a pre-recorded live stream Gabriella made in case she died. In between thanking her chat for the gifted subs, she explains that Laura was raised in a lab by scientists, with a bunch of other mutant children who were also created, who've known nothing but the lab, never seen the ocean, the sun, sand.
Nah, that sucks. I ain't lying to you. Nah, so the mutants are really... Nah, I ain't gonna take it there. I ain't gonna take it there. If I take it there, people go, oh my god, you always gotta bring race to this. Why? Why? Like, but it be true. Things be connecting. Ain't no way. Don't stop be connecting too easily.
Grass, never known love, celebration. The scientists literally say,
don't think of them as children, think of them as things.
Don't think of them as children, think of them as things. Their mothers were random Mexican women.
Nah, that's crazy. That scene is crazy. She ended up cutting herself. That's crazy.
Who no one's heard of since, and their fathers are DNA from bottles. We hear about this, but the phone dies, and then the camera pans to Laura riding the mechanical horse. Blank expression, showing us the extent to how her child Logan to tears. Charles tells him that Laura is clearly his child, that this is a mission he must do. This is your daughter, and you took that woman's money. This is the moment we see a sense of...
Pause this. So, if he knew that was his child the whole time, why she was in the lab then? First of all, and another thing, why did the mom ain't been trying to contact to this? Now she's on her deathbed. Now she want to finally contact this man about his daughter. Nah, I think my dog Logan was low key messing around. This got to be young Logan. He was messing around, not caring, and bust a couple blanks on some girls. And didn't know he was gonna have some kids.
Responsibility kind of creep its way back into Logan, oh so very slightly. Later, Logan continues the video after charging his phone, and we learn that the scientists built X-24 and decided they didn't need the kids anymore. So as they're about to kill them, the nurses help them escape, and there are a bunch more going to North Dakota just like Laura. The best stories to me tend to be the ones that are the most simple. I don't need a convoluted 19-step with 16 different twist plot. This is simply a mother figure who wants her daughter to reach safety and needs someone much stronger than her to do it. That's it. And I think the simplicity of it is what lends itself to feel so personal as a viewer. We can all imagine that feeling. We can all think of our own mothers and what she'd do to bring us to safety. And we could feel like, fuck man, how can you tell this mother in need no? After everything she's tried to do so hard for the good of innocent children, for the good of the only mutants that remain, the lasting legacy of your race, you can't tell her no. And this speaks to Logan, because for one, there's the fact that Laura was created using Logan's DNA, making her genetically his child, which breeds a paternal connection over her from him. And also, she's a clear reflection of his past and himself. Her story of being an experiment directly mimics his own experience, and there's clearly this sort of struggling with the guilt of his past that he's still dealing with, and this can be seen as a chance to protect an innocent child and do something good, as only he can understand the pain of being a weaponized mutant like her to her in this moment. Like I said, shared trauma creates bonds, which ultimately the journey allows Logan to accept his role as a protector and a father figure, bringing him the eventual closure before his death that he needed. It's an amazing character journey. And in the second half of the movie, it fully becomes an on-the-run film. Crazy moments and close calls with the agents, which are always intense, worrying, keep the heart pumping, are great, but it's in the quiet moments, with the dynamic of these three when the movie is at its best for me. Professor X showing Laura his favorite movie from when he was a kid 8,000 years ago, old ass nigga. Them in the car ride where Logan and Professor X are arguing and Professor X asks him does he not derive any sense of purpose from this mission. We have a young mutant in the car and are taking her to meet a bunch of others and you don't feel anything about that. Logan simply says, no I don't. We know deep down you care a lot though, Logan. This nigga lying. And when Logan, Laura, and Professor X meet the Munsons, that's a huge moment in their character arcs while not being super epic initially. The Munsons, from a thematic standpoint, are such an important part of this story because they represent the normal, peaceful life that our characters couldn't have. Their encounter is warm and homey and acts as another catalyst for Logan's emotional arc and eventual redemption. They give Logan a glimpse into humanity that he hasn't seen in decades, showing them love, stability, a calm domestic life that completely contradicts the violent, isolated world Logan has become so accustomed to. They don't have to watch their back to go to the corner store the way Logan does. Nigga be in the corner store buying Nutter Butters with half a claw out cause he's on
Nah, that's crazy.
edge all the time. And Charles uses this as a lesson to Logan, a lesson in hope and love. He tells Logan to take a moment, feel the warmth of the situation, but Logan is still so reluctant and headstrong on the fact that his life is hopeless. You're not Tony Snow, bro. There's still hope for you, Logan. I'm telling you. Charles tries to tell him that he has time to make it good, but he won't even entertain that idea. Logan leaves the room, we cut away, and then eventually cut back to Charles sleeping. Him thinking Logan has re-entered the room and telling him this was the most perfect night he's had in a long time.
What is?
Night I've had.
He also exclaims how he now remembers the fact that he killed the mutants accidentally, but it isn't Logan. It's X-24, and he stabs Charles with a fatal blow. It's just such a heartbreaking scene. Here's Charles, mind fully clear for the first time in a long time, feeling gratitude and having clarity on his past, and it's met with his immediate murder. He never even got to say this to Logan himself. The first thing Logan tells him when he sees him is, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me."
It was me.
The Munsons also get murdered by the clone X-24.
That's
the
crazy.
death of the Munsons, and particularly Charles Xavier, breaks Logan's final ties to his old life and forces him to dedicate himself entirely to saving Laura, prompting his final stand. It's the final push for him to go all in, because for him the only thing that he's cared for, being Charles, is now gone. And for the first time, Logan shows us how broken he really is, burying Charles and is brought to tears while doing it, saying out loud, well, it's got water.
It's got water.
The dream was for them to go out on a boat and die out there, but they were unable to reach that ideal final destination together. So again, well, it's got water, as in, it's good enough. And this is a small symbolic gesture to honor that dream of finding peace, contributing to the movie's big theme of finding peace in inevitable death. They actually end up reaching Eden, and here is where we probably get some of the most important conversations regarding Logan's character in any X-Men movie probably ever. Logan has a nightmare, probably saw Toad's ugly ass face, and him and Laura talk about their nightmares. She says she has nightmares about people hurting her, and he says his are of him hurting people. She asks him about the
I wouldn't say that no nightmare because I ain't like any other day if Wolverine was back in his prime with it, nah, he would be killing some stuff. I'm just gonna keep a nice good buck with you, but just know he not thinking like that. Young
bullet he carries around, and he says he kept it before as a reminder of who he is, but now he keeps it to potentially shoot himself. She then says how she's hurt people too, and he tells her she's gotta learn to live with that. Very clearly by the expression on his face and what we've seen so far, you can tell he still hasn't figured out how to do so himself. It's so much being said with such little actual words being said. It's for the first time an emotional turning point that shows a coming together of their relationship, the acceptance of their
Yo, hold on. This look like the same city that the long The long
how to do so himself. It's so much being said with such little actual words being said.
hold on.
It's for the first time an emotional
About to show y'all.
turning point that shows a coming together.
This look like what the long walk was doing. Like they were walking right here, bro. I don't know, but this movie came out before the long
Their
walk. If y'all know what I'm
relationship,
talking
the
about.
acceptance of their shared trauma. The scene transforms their dynamic from reluctant guardian dealing with a bratty kid and carries a much more parental feeling, with both deeply scarred by their past existence as weapons. Logan is expressing to her his feeling of PTSD and survivor's guilt. She tries to differentiate herself by saying that the people she hurt were bad people, to which Logan says, all the same.
All the same.
Regardless of who or what the reason was that you murdered, it's still a heavy pain that you will always have to carry. It's a genuine moment of vulnerability from Logan. It's a moment where he doesn't reject her anymore. In fact, he opens up to her about the weight of his
Yeah, they made a spin-off movie because of that, off that girl though, low key, and she was the old lady telling the young boy that.
existence,
Okay.
letting her into his dark ass, depressing
I can see
ass
Marvel
world.
doing it.
It's a change in him.
You. Just you. Building your app. On base 44.
He's still a dick. I mean, it's Wolverine, that's his thing. But it's gotten to the point for him where he rejects the money for the mission at the end because it's no longer about that at all for him. It's about their safety, genuinely. But he won't allow that for himself. He's not gonna go with them, and that makes Laura mad. He gets angry, exclaiming that he didn't ask for this shit. Charles is dead, Voldemort is dead. He rejects the idea that they are a family. He brought her where he said he would, and says that he thinks it's better this way, that they stay apart. He sucks at being any sort of loving figure for people, saying bad things always happen to people I care about, admitting that he cares about her, but also encapsulating his survivor's guilt, his fear of intimacy, and his internalized trauma after centuries of violence and loss. In all truth, he does care. He cares so much about her that he won't allow himself to feel potential happiness by going with them and seeing the other side of that, because in his mind, that wouldn't be keeping her safe. But this was
Boy, hey, I ain't lying to you. Boy, that shit scared the fuck out of me when that little nigga was fucking smiling. Go back to
the
that
other
shit.
side of that, because in his mind,
Boy, that shit scared boy, that shit scared the fuck out of me, boy. I ain't gonna hold you. What the fuck? Boy, that little nigga scared the fuck out of me. Oh, what the fuck?
Logan wakes up and sees that the kids have left and realizes the agents are gonna catch them. He has his final superhero final battle moment, defeating everyone with the help of the children, and is on his deathbed with Laura, where he tells her, "Don't be what they made you." She calls him her daddy, and his final words before dying being, "So this is what it feels like," before dying while holding his daughter's hand. For the first time, Logan in that moment allowed himself to experience true love, family, and peace, for the first time recognizing her as his own family. After a lifetime of violence, trauma, and acting as a weapon, Logan finds a moment of quiet, genuine connection before dying, and it's immediately ripped from him and us by his death. It's truly heartbreaking. It took his old ass 10 lifetimes to finally experience the love that he's truly yearned for all along, and it only lasts a moment. But what a beautiful moment it was. His death completely contrasting his life, the painful, never-ending life, and the peace and a meaningful death surrounded by family. It's a perfect ending to a beautiful character arc in this movie. It was such a great idea to make a movie about a story that decides to focus on the intimate, emotional storytelling, exploring themes of morality, trauma, and redemption around a character who has so much emotional baggage as Wolverine does. Every scene serves the character's journey rather than the plot necessarily, making the action feel more meaningful and the emotional stakes high. And don't get it twisted, this movie still has the more mindless, epic superhero shit that you want. He may be old, but like I said, Unc still got it. The beginning fight with Logan versus the cartel members was heat. He left them in portions of their original selves. The scene of Logan and Laura versus the agents outside of his hideout when they escape with Professor X was fucking amazing. You get to see how capable Laura actually is, and it's the reveal of her mutant abilities. She's a natural at this psychopath shit. The casino scene where Logan is—
wait. Past Deadpool, Deadpool in the present got Logan from the past from the movie, because ain't she was in the Deadpool movie too, low key, cause that Logan had died, cause I remember Deadpool used his skeleton as a killing machine and this and that, if you know, you know.
in slow motion because of Professor X's powers going haywire and is able to come in and stop the soldiers while they're immobilized was dope. While tragic, the fight on the Munson's house with the introduction of X-24 was insane, seeing how overpowered he is, on the edge of your seat, wondering how the hell they're gonna get out of this. And then of course the final battle, seeing Logan save the mutant race by sacrificing himself, Logan going out like Wolverine one last time. This movie has the emotional weight the characters care in their right.
Yeah. It will go down as the most greatest movie of history of time. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow our social media pop on the screen. We're on the road to 500, and I'm out.